Our message is very clear. Let's prevent human trafficking, especially of women and girls. Our young ones are very prone, susceptible to human trafficking. We want them to be empowered with information. We want them to know who an enabler of human trafficking is when they come through families, through friends, their peer groups, and even through social media. We want them to have these skills and know that this person is coming to traffic me and be able to say, no, I don't want to be trafficked. That is our message, essentially. Challenging. First, victims sometimes don't readily want to share. But we have built a relationship. By the way, this project is working in Edo State and then Lagos State. We have built very strong relationship with our stakeholders on ground, including the survivors of human trafficking. And some of them have now turned themselves to vanguards, wanting to share their stories such that it can inspire people, to stay back and really see what they can make for themselves. So the survivors you see here who are sharing their stories are part of the project, and they are the ones willing to share their story with us. It was a challenging process, getting everybody, NAPTIP, the scenes. You could see that a lot of efforts went into trying to produce this documentary. Okay, statistics from IOM, from the UN, all over has shown that the numbers are rising, and Nigeria is featuring very chiefly on that. The statistics is quite alarming, and especially when you look at the number of persons living, women are more. Although you still have able young men that they've sort of lost faith in this country, they also are moving. So it shows that this thing is becoming a major concern. And just to say that this is not only in Nigeria. Human trafficking, forced migration is an organized crime industry. So it means that along the value chain, you have people at different junctions who are sort of supporting the whole process along from here to Kano to Libya and all of that. There are those that are traffickers that are making this crime to continue to thrive in Nigeria and across the world. So why we decided to do this is because the concern is becoming strong, and we feel that it's important that awareness is key. Let's push the message out there so that people have the right information and know that when people are coming to them, even you would not believe that within the religious houses, you have those people that we look up to as religious leaders also coming in the guise of enablers. Our research has shown this over time. So we want to be able to equip young people, equip women and adults generally with the right information and ensure that the statistics that we are seeing is lowering. Because if you go to Italy, they just ordinarily, every black person you see on the street or every black lady you see on the street is assumed that they are Nigerians, and oftentimes that is the story. So we want to reduce that number to the barest minimum.
Okay. Based on existing statistics, both from the UN, IOM, and even NAPTIP, here in Nigeria, we discovered that, human trafficking is on the rise, and the statistics keep increasing. A lot of awareness has been done before, a lot of intervention has been done, but the issue is persistent because as one issue is tackled, traffickers devise new means to ensure that the trade of human trafficking, which is very lucrative, is ongoing in the country. Today, we had on the 30th, which is World Day Against Human Trafficking in Persons, we screened this documentary to inform, the general public about human trafficking and forced migration in Nigeria. And then we got a recommendation that the people most vulnerable to trafficking are the young people, teenagers and young adults. And so we decided to do another screening of the documentary, which is from episode 1 to 5 that the Clean Foundation has been able to produce. So we said, okay, let's screen this documentary to teenagers and young adults who are more prone to being trafficked because number one, they are vulnerable, they are not so aware, about human trafficking and forced migration, and they are in the society currently, they are on the verge, of quick success. People are looking for quick means, of achieving success, and young adults and teenagers, are amongst this group. And in this documentary that we have screened today, gives a lot of information about how traffickers are devising new means, or the means that traffickers are using to get teenagers and young people out of the country. Now, social media is one of those means. And we know that this group of people that we have screened this documentary today, they are on social media. Social media is a tool of the young person in this generation, and they are easily poked on these platforms. So we are telling them, be aware. If somebody is giving you an information that you're not sure about, if somebody is saying something that you're not sure about, then you should be able to say no, I'm not going to do this. And then for the fact that we are informing these teenagers today, it's like we're informing other teenagers. Now, because they know the ways of the traffickers, the present ways of the traffickers, or the means that these traffickers has devised. So it's easy to tell a friend and say, ensure not to listen to this thing because this guy is lying, or you are going to face this abroad. Either they are going to use you for sex or sex exploitation, or it's going to be drug use or drug peddling, and the likes of it. And then we also looked at the causes. People need to be aware, what are the causes of human trafficking? So the idea is, let's inform these young people so that we'll prevent them from being trafficked. And the overall idea is that we want to make continuous efforts to reduce the rates of human trafficking in Nigeria. I believe that the government has its role. Like every other person, have their own role. And government is doing so much. But I think more can be done. A lot more can be done, because having to travel to these areas that we believe are more prevalent with human trafficking and forced migration, there was a lot that I saw. On the borders, especially, towards Badagry and then Seme, what I saw around those borders, even with the security agencies present, wasn't palatable. Now, that means there needs to be checks, amongst the officers that have been deployed to these areas, because it is not a means to make money. People are devising means to make money out of this vice, not just the traffickers, but people who have been kept in place to reduce or to checkmate the activities of traffickers. So I believe that government should do more. Government should check in frequently on officers that have been deployed around these areas to monitor the activities of forced migration. Like I always say, awareness cannot be overemphasized. The awareness has been ongoing. Awareness has been ongoing from National Human Rights Commissions, NOA, and the likes of them, and then the work that Clean Foundation is doing, supported by UN Women and then the government of Italy. But we need more of these interventions. We need more of this awareness spread across, the states in Nigeria.
Right inside there, I heard them talk about the social media being a means to spread this fight against trafficking. But to a point, I still feel that most of the victims of this trafficking are from the rural area where you don't have the social media available, you don't have the WhatsApps, you don't have this. And if it can only go through the social media, these persons would not really get this message we are trying to spread. So I would ask the organizers of this program to find a way to send this message across to the media, the rural area. And also, to a certain point, I think the government also have fault in this. Because if not, I don't know why one person will have more than one passport. Just as what I watched there, they were talking about the enablers. Because ordinarily, I cannot make a passport for myself. If I need a passport, I must go through a government agency to get this. And if I can get paid, if I can pay a person in maybe the agency, and they produce more than one passport for me, it's to an extent defeating this program. So to an extent, I would say the government should come to the aid of the citizens of Nigeria by making sure that it is one passport for each citizen of the country. On my own part, having watched what were played this afternoon, is that I will do all within my power to make sure I report any case that I might come across. I won't keep quiet about any. And also, I will take up from here also to enlighten those within my area that I know have not had the opportunity of hearing about this.